Hey Collective, it's Saturday the 5th. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July for what it is. Lots of barbecue, some time at the pool, the lake, the river, wherever it is you go, the ocean, some body of water. And if not, that you just enjoy time with your family or your loved ones, even if it's just snuggling up on the couch with your significant other, whatever the case may be. So I snuggled up with some squirrels, maybe a goose or two. So no, it was a good day for me though. So, and I did spend some time in water and all this nature is beautiful. All right, so we're going to go ahead and recap the energy for the week. Today's the last day of the week. So Sunday, overall energy was day gas. Day gas talks about day, dawn, daybreak, daytime clarity versus nighttime obscurity, that kind of a thing. Ambition, growth, awakening and awareness, the power to change, transformation, hope and happiness, also balance, and the place where opposites meet. Now, when I first read that, I wasn't quite sure what they were alluding to. I looked at all the poems where they get a lot of the information on these runes and stuff like that. I wasn't quite certain as to what they meant by that, so I'll just leave that to you to decide. Place where opposites meet. Okay, so, I mean, there's always this yin and yang balancing going on, so this could be this person we've been hearing about wanting to come back into your life who, wants you to believe that everything is good. They've changed. They're a different person. They've given it a lot of friggin', reflection and all that, and they've done the work to change. Now, for you personally, you'll have to decide whether you believe that to be true or not, okay? So I already have my time. I've already reflected, and I already know what I know. All right, so on Monday, we have Thursaz, the mighty god of thunder's rune, and that means basically in a nutshell, protection, okay? So force, defense, the will, sexuality, and of course vital eroticism, and purging. Okay? So cleansing yourself basically of all unnecessary, whether it's material goods, whether it's, unneeded emotional baggage, whatever the case may be. Purge. On Tuesday, we have Lagoose. Lagoose speaks of anything water related, and again, we're looking at that in essence of the 5 elements. Okay? Water being emotions and so on. But it also speaks about things that are unseen, psychic abilities, the ability to see into one's, future, to see your own fate and things of that nature. The divine feminine talks about those things which are hidden, the underworld, success in travel even. Sometimes they don't seem to have any relation, some of these things, but again, it depends on the author. I don't know where some of these people got some of the things that they came up with on this, but again, I'm not an expert on these poems. I've only read through the Havamal and, the Poetic Eddas just a couple of times, so I don't have them memorized by any stretch. They're a little strange. I mean, you got to understand, it's like reading, art or some type of poetry from another culture. It may not be what you yourself would be accustomed to in regards to what, others would call a poem, for example. So it's a little difficult sometimes to ascertain. And then you have the issue, of course, of translation. But I don't want to get too much into that. Let's just go ahead and keep on keeping on. Wednesday, the energy was Othala. And so far, every one of these energies, in fact, all energies all the way up to yesterday were very positive. Othala in the upright. They're all in the upright. Means house, home, dwelling, property, spiritual heritage, your inheritances. It means prosperity and growth. It means group prosperity as well as individual prosperity. It means aid in spiritual and physical journeys, and an increase in abundance and so on. It also means to face, well, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry, that's the next one. Nowthis we got on Thursday. And Nowthis was one of those yin and yang ones where it sounds almost negative at first, but it's not. It talks about needs and patience and stress and obstacles, delays, strength, innovation, conflict, endurance, surveillance. Being a survivor, determination, changes, facing your fears. It just talks about the inevitability of these types of things popping up in our lives, always. Not all of them at once, of course, but that you'll have to have that inner strength and persistence, tenacity, and so on to overcome many of these things. So it gives you, first off, the foreknowledge that you have everything you need as far as tools go to do these things, to overcome these challenges. But indeed, they do exist. So the gods are acknowledging they understand, okay, basically. And then Friday, we got Perthro. Perthro means, games of chance, gaming, those things which are hidden. Again, all things feminine, divine feminine in particular, feminine sexuality, knowing one's destiny in the future again, fellowship, joy, and change. See, we got both these things, both covered in Thursaz, which is the masculine change and the will. And then in Perthro, we have the feminine change and the will. So we have the ability through our vital will to change any circumstance and anything that does no longer suit us or benefit us. We can change those things. Now, the overall energy for the week was Urus in reverse. And remember, that's the only negative one that we pulled. And that talks about having weak will, being low on energy, possible illnesses, and missed opportunities, weaknesses, obsessions, misdirected force, domination by others, basically taken over by lust, inconsistency, ignorance, brutality and violence, rashness and callousness. Okay, now this again does not necessarily mean this is talking about you specifically, but somebody within your energetic field, definitely. And this could also mean an energy for your immediate future too. So this could be you, maybe not now, but perhaps in the future. However, I get the impression, and I already know from me personally, this is very specific to me about at least one, possibly two people in my life. Actually, two, possibly three people in my life, without a doubt. All right, now the pre-pull that we did last Sunday for today was Iwas, but it also is in reverse. Unlike many of the other reversed runes, however, this one is not so bad. It speaks about long journeys, okay? For me, it's been, like I said, 5 straight years. And it just keeps getting a little harder, a little harder, a little harder. I make little advances, but it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, It's been very difficult. And I get the impression I'm being tested in terms of my, my ability not to give in. And I don't, and I won't. I just wish it wasn't so long, That's my biggest wish, because you can't get that time back. But on the other side of that coin, lessons learned, right? I look back and I look at the lessons that I had to learn as a result of all of this. And as Clint Eastwood said in Heartbreak Ridge, and being a Marine myself, improvising, adapting, and overcoming has become my second nature. So, hoorah! All right, so what else does it mean? It means sudden changes, something to do with timing. Changes are being craved, yes. Feeling restless, confined, having a sense of mistrust, disharmony, maybe even feeling a sense of betrayal. Well, I have been betrayed, even by some of those who were very closest to me. And that's how they were able to do it, because they knew that I would always try to see the best in people. And some of them were with me most of my life, some all of my life. So I gave them the benefit of the doubt, but no more. It's one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn. Okay? And I want to share that with you because being spiritual, being godly, or anything like that, if you were truly walking this walk, does not mean you're anybody's doormat. You're not meant to be a doormat. I mean, look at Jesus. I mean, the only time he was angry is when he was dealing with the religious hypocrites of his day. Well, I'm dealing with a lot of those right now, too. They hide under the veneer of walking in the light, but the moment that they get behind closed doors, they're doing the most heinous of things. They're hypocrites. I mean, there's 100 different verses that come to my mind right now as I reflect on this. But I don't want to judge. Their fate's already sealed. So, but you're going to find out that it's a lesson that if you are empathic and you do try to love and try to be loving, even though you have the ability to be extremely unloving. Yeah, for lack of a better way of putting it, you can release hell on earth. Not just with your words, but also with your other abilities. You know, and that's just a fact. It's what makes you a warrior versus a doormat. You have the ability to do a great deal of harm, but you choose not to. Even though you may seem, at least from the worldly perspective, of being justified in doing it. And I don't mean to preach, but I'm just trying to share some of the lessons I've had to learn along the way. All right. Now, that tells us about the negative energy for the overall energy of the week and the energy for today. Although, again, it's not as discouraging as that as Uru's in reverse. It is still potentially somewhat negative. So now, with that being said, let's go ahead and pull 3 tarot cards like we've been doing to get an overall energy, again, for the day, for you, for the collective. And if we get the Sun card a 3rd day in a row, man, I'm going to be so tickled. I'm just going to leave it at that. I say, forget about the negative energy we've been talking about. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything at this point. Okay? All right. So. I mean, it defies all the odds. But I was happy to see it. It's great energy. It's the best energy in the entire tarot deck. All 77 cards. 78. I don't remember. I don't know why I don't just look that up. I forget after I get done with these readings. Usually if I don't know something, that's the first thing I would do. But since I'm in the middle of a reading, I can't just stop and do it. And I'm not going to count each card. So, all right, let's go ahead and cut the deck 3 times. Got them shuffled. Cut. Grounded. Alright, so what's the first card for the collective, please? Oh, okay. Well, 4 staffs. As you can see, they're jumping up for joy, so it's a good card. It means take time to rest and enjoy your success. Again, talks about romance, tranquility, family, and prosperity and harmony. So whether you're single, whether you're not single, if you have a significant other, this talks about high success and a closeness, a bond that increases as a result of this. Keep in mind now, we may have at least 2 people coming back to us, and one of them we've been warned about more than a few times is probably a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay? All right. So 4 of Wands. All right, and get another energy for my collective. Oh, and at the bottom we had, looks like the Hierophant again. Another major arcana card. Okay, one more. All right, what's another energy for the collective? The Moon. All right, so it's a major arcana card. Now the Moon, unlike the Sun, talks about obscurity versus clarity. So it means things not what they seem to be, illusions, unknown circumstances, situations, dreams, possible deception, and intuition. Use your intuition, okay? All right, one more please for the collective. I just had a big cup of coffee, so of course now that I'm in the middle of a reading, I gotta run to the facilities or find a big tree somewhere. Oh, goodness gracious me. When will I learn? You know, timing. I didn't listen. I should have done a tarot reading before this. All right, one more please. One more energy for my collective. Oh, wow. Excellent. Another major arcana. We've gotten 2 out of 3 every day this week. The odds are they're just astronomical. But the Lovers, and it's pretty self-explanatory, okay? So balance and harmony in love, whether you're already with somebody or expecting somebody new. Partnership, love, passion, healthy relationship. Now, it doesn't always speak of just romantic love. It can be love with a friend that's very deep, or, you know, somebody else. It's a deep felt love, okay? So, but either way, I'm taking it as somebody new. Emphasizing the word new. All right, so we got plenty of energy there. It's all very, very good. With that being said, let's just get right into the runes. I'm gonna have to hurry it up a bit. I'm already squeezing. All right, so what is today's present energy, please, for my collective? Present energy, and thank you. I've already stirred them up and did my invocation, so. Present energy for the collective. Radho, but it's in reverse. Radho in reverse. Okay. So, Radho is in the first family group, or Ayat. And basically what it means is journeys again. We already saw the rune for today, which talks about long journeys. So they're going hand in hand with one another. In the upright, it means upset of plans, delays, lost, crisis, rigidity, injustice, and illusions. So remember, these are not written in stone, okay? So these are probable energies, and they either are or will, or I should say you can actually counteract these things by knowing about them in advance. All right, let me get some influences, please. Influences. What's another influence for today for the collective? All right, influence. Excellent one. Sowilo. Okay? Sowilo. All right. Now, Sowilo is in the second group, family, or Ayat, and what it means is sun. It's like the sun card, if you will, that we pulled the last 2 days in a row in the tarot day. It talks about victory, power, attack, enlightenment, honor, life force. So as you can see, we've already got a counteracting force there to Radho in reverse and Ewas in reverse. Excellent energy. All right, one more influence, please. One more influence, please. And thank you. One more influence, please. Thor's rune again. So Thor makes yet another appearance. So both on Monday and now on Saturday. And of course, that means protection. It goes along perfectly with Sowilo that we just pulled. So the influences that guard us against the 2 negative runes that we have definitely are more powerful, okay? We have the most powerful rune in the deck, which is it's considered the most powerful by some, and that's Thor's mighty rune. And then you have the protection that's offered typically in magic and stuff like that with Sowilo. So you put these together and, well, let's just say you got no issues, no problems, should you actually choose to call upon them, use them, and so on. All right, now the future energy, please. And I'm going to have to very quickly pull some cards, or I'm going to have a, let's just say, a disappointing video. All right, today's energy for the future. Oh, couldn't have gotten better. All right, this is Gibo. Again, it's like X marks the spot on the treasure map. It's about equal exchange, giving and receiving gifts, and so on. Excellent, excellent energy. All right, like I said, I'm gonna have to rush this along. I'm sorry, you guys. All right, let's pull out some hidden truth oracles. Damn, I felt it too right before I hit that record button. I I didn't listen to my intuition. Let this be a lesson to you. All right. Damn. How embarrassing. I like to share my embarrassments just to show you that I'm not afraid to be who I am. I am authentic. I am who I am. I don't try to pretend to be anything else. And the more that I have to deal with others who are phony, then the more I try to be as authentic as possible. Now, sure, people can use that to their advantage in some ways, but I'm not worried about it. I know authenticity is 400 times more powerful in the resonance, vibration, and frequency scale than love itself. So nobody can touch me because I'm honest. I'm honest and I love myself first and foremost. It's the only way you can love anybody else. Okay? I think almost anybody and everybody's walked this path at some point that was able to achieve anything had to be willing to be, well, talked about, gossiped about, ridiculed, and every other thing. Frankly, I could care less. Who are they to judge me in the first place, right? Let them say whatever they want. I could care less. All right, so shelf them up. First truth is, now we've seen this once before, I think 2 weeks ago. You and I were too young. Too young. Again, whoever it was that came to your mind when you first saw that card, that's probably who it's for, okay? Okay, let's get one more for the collective, please. One more card for the collective, please, and thank you. One more shuffle. One more. All right. I wish I could share my good news with you. Okay? Well, somebody wants to share something that has something good that's happened to them, obviously, or they at least want you to believe that. Again, I take everything basically in a grain of salt these days until I prove it to be true for myself. I use my intuition. I look into things. I don't believe anything that I'm told. Even if I respect the person that's talking to me, I'm still going to look into it. So, I mean, be warned. That's who I am, and that's what I would expect from everybody that's listening to me. You know? Sure, these are intuitive readings and so on, but does it resonate with you? Does it resonate with your gut? Because if it doesn't, don't accept it. It's not for you. And not everything that I say will resonate with every single person. Okay? Now, there'll be things involved in this that will. Definitely. There'll be something within this reading for everybody. Sometimes the whole reading will be very, very clear to them. All right, now, let's look at love. What kind of messages do we have concerning love for the collective, please? What kind of messages do we have concerning love for the collective? Love for the collective. All right. Love for the collective. One more. Okay. I can't believe this. We pulled this one, I think, yesterday. Well, maybe it was this week for sure. Palm tree. It's a good one, though. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. So, and again, not necessarily just with the relationship, although that's what these cards focus on. So it certainly, primarily is about relationships, feeling those type of things. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. Okay? Those are all very good attributes, good traits, characteristics. All right? I mean, every relationship requires work, right? Nothing goes completely smooth all the time, but to find somebody where you have the least amount of issues in regards to that is, in a lot of ways what it's all about, so it just seems to flow. Now, you need somebody that challenges you, wants you to be better, and you know, that you're encouraged to do better because of them. And because you want to please them and make them happy and, you know, help fulfill their time on this planet too. They feel that way with you. I mean, it's like heaven on earth. I haven't found that yet, but I'm just saying. I know it exists, even if I haven't actually experienced it yet. All right, one more, please. Thank you. All right, says talking. Says interested, conversing. Says more, awaited message arrives, texting, calling, emailing, and somebody is hovering. Okay, so what this tells me is that somebody, and it's either you or the other party, is impatient about hearing back from you. Whether you know you had actually received something and they're waiting for your response, or maybe they want you to reach out first. It doesn't imply one way or the other. And it could be either one of those things. But somebody on the other side, or yourself, are definitely becoming impatient, waiting for a response. So it's up to you. I mean, you may be playing some kind of cat or mouse game with somebody. Don't play games. I mean, life is too short for that crap. And if they're playing games with you, don't accept it. Set your boundaries. Let them know. You know, either you're going to be straight up and honest with me like I am with you, or just there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the ass on the way out, kind of a thing. You know, I'm not playing those games. Life's too short. All right, collective. So extremely positive energy, despite the two, actually three, reversed runes that we had. Two forecasted in advance for today, and the one that we pulled for the present energy for today with Rado. None of them were terribly bad. If anything else, they were all three of them were basically neutral. But less than that, because again, with Thor's rune, with the Sawillo rune as our influences during that, and our future being Gibo, I mean, that along with the Four of Wands, the Moon card, and the Lovers, I mean, all I can say is that it should be relatively smooth sailing. You just got to play your cards right, literally, okay? You still have your part to play. And again, the future is not written in stone. You have the ability to change your fate by making the right decisions, taking the right actions. And that's what I encourage all of you to do. So stay victorious, stay honorable, and I will see you in Valhalla. Bye.